Hi, hello, my name is Kelly, and welcome today to your reading. It is Thursday, March 19, 2026. This is also a timeless reading whenever you came here. I do hope you find that this resonates. If it does not, you may check in the future or find something that is a better fit for you at this time. Today, I'm going to do a reading check-in on the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine, okay? And these are just different aspects about yourself that you have fully integrated or that you're leading with at this time. This could also be if you're male or female or just you as an individual, okay? So you just take it how it fits. And today I'm going to describe the Divine Feminine, and I might often say her or describe her as a female, but that can also be male or female, all right? That is just this would be your dominant vibration. Some people say your dominant way that you carry yourself through life, more of your personality type. If you were in a relationship, this would be, more of your role in the relationship in the more dominant way that you naturally fit into it, okay? And so over here, this is going to be the Divine Feminine. And then over here is going to be the Divine Masculine. And then it's the same thing. That this could be male or female. This could be a part of you, that you're working on. All right. And then this could also just be the way that you dominate sort of in your relationship, sort of how you lead with. Okay. It could be how you identify, and it could be, something that you don't even realize is just how you are, or kind of what mode you're operating in at this time. Okay. So try not to take it too literal. For others of you, it's literally going to mean a man and a woman, okay? And then for others of you, it's going to be a man who knows that right now he's in the Divine Feminine, and then a woman is understanding, seeing she's in the Divine Masculine. So you may want to watch both or just watch one if they resonate. Okay, so I'm going to have this deck over here represent the Divine Feminine, and then this will represent the Divine Masculine. Over here, I have 3 certain decks that I'm going to be using specifically just for the Divine Feminine, and then 3 for the Divine Masculine, and then I have another little mini deck that I might throw in at the end. I don't really know yet. So here we go. I was going to start with the Divine Masculine, but the Divine Feminine feels like it's really pushing forward. So I'm going to start with her right now. I'm just going to say her. And, I know this is a general reading, so that, there is a lot of different people watching at different times, but I'm seeing, a male, and a very dominant male who understands he's a Divine Feminine, okay? And, also somebody who is attracted to other males and is just very with it at all times, and has no problem being themselves, has no problem understanding that they're a male, but also being like, I'm a her, I'm feminine. And that's a really comfortable person, and that's definitely someone you would even also want to trust being around, because somebody so confident in themselves, is somebody that you can build trust with. And then you find the right type of person if it feels like a nurturing type of relationship. But this, I feel like the Divine Feminine today, when you come to this reading, I feel like your heart has been broken. It could be at any age, but I'm feeling, an older age, maybe 30s or 40s. This is generally, but I'm just feeling this, certain ones that are coming through. And it's like life has been very difficult. And at certain points in your life, when things get extremely violent and hard, you don't give up, but you do have to dissociate in certain ways. That sometimes you feel cold to the world because you feel let down and sabotaged and hurt. But at the same time, you're still so beautiful inside, if only someone could experience and only you had the time to rest. And a lot of you, I feel like the Divine Feminine had kind of closed themselves off and gone into a hibernation stage for a while. But I do feel like at this time, it is spring, and it feels a little bit more inspirational than usual. I feel like for the Divine Feminine at this time, it feels like, hopeful that maybe it's time to put yourself out there again and trust again. You might be healed just enough from past experiences to start something new or start something over because you realized you were strong enough to forgive and let go and close old wounds. So I do feel like the Divine Feminine is hopeful. I was feeling because I already pre-shuffled my other decks before I started this week, because it takes me quite a while just to really make sure they're ready. And I was feeling like, just kind of like in wild sometimes, it's like the Divine Feminine is waiting during mating season. And then almost a lot of times when you look in nature, the feminine, the female in nature, is a little bit more camouflaged. And that almost to me feels like you as a Divine Feminine feeling, like you've been working on yourself for so long. Now I feel like you're kind of in this waiting mode for somebody to attract your attention. Because you've gone through so many stages of heartbreak and healing that you're truly just waiting now for the right person, if it came. Because I don't think you were really considering it for quite a time. Or, you felt so hurt. There were certain topics that were off of discussion, or, things like that. But I kind of feel you ready to explore life in a way, start over, whether that's even you being by yourself. You might feel more comfortable doing more solo dates, going places. Yeah, I was thinking eat, love, pray for a lot of you. Even if that just means scheduling an hour in your day that's different, that's just for you. And you can call that your self-care hour or your Venus hour. Like, I do feel that a lot of you have worked, for so long and so hard on just what you are naturally drawn towards. And that has caused so much friction in your life. And you're tired of defending yourself for things you loved, for things that inspired you, for wanting to be flamboyant. Like the Divine Feminine, it's okay to be flashy and flamboyant, because they don't have to be like, come and look at me and I'm the only one, but they do come in with feeling just right and I'm good. And a lot of times, that draws a lot of attention. And a lot of Divine Feminines are extremely creative, male or female. And it kind of feels sometimes to the Divine Feminine walking in this world, and you're like the colorful being to this grayness, and it's just really depressing. And so it's like, why are you the target then when you go in this room and you got a bunch of angry vanilla lattes and you're just trying to be a pumpkin spice, just the spice without the syrup? You know what I mean? So you can't really blame a Divine Feminine for being snappy or very particular at this point in their lives. But I also feel like, you're ready to just be like, okay, let's do this again. And that is a hard point to get to. So, but that's comforting. And so what I was kind of trying to get to is almost like you're sitting there. You're not trying to attract a male. You're just ready, okay? And then that can be same sex, okay? But you're more just like, if you're in the Divine Feminine mode, especially, like I feel like a lot of times, like it's spring. A lot of times people have been working on creative projects over the winter. And then in spring, you do get to harvest. That's why a lot of times, a lot of you are probably already aware that now it's also detox time, because it's spring. So it's self-care, detox, let's relax, and get ready for summertime sweat. That's why I feel like a lot of Divine Feminines are in, the mode. I feel like they've also been alone for so long that they're definitely fine being the Divine Masculine at the same time, but they don't want to be. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these Divine Feminines right now, it's like, I'm ready to relax. I'm ready to feel feminine. I'm ready to be appreciated for the fact that I want to feel feminine and beautiful. Like, especially if I was thinking at the beginning of this, or if you've seen a male, you have so many different types of males that express their creativity in many different ways. It's very much like, what day is it? What time is it? Where are we going? Like that's very serious when it's like, if you're a male and you consider yourself very masculine, okay, whether you're attracted to the same sex or a different sex, it's like, there's nothing wrong with just being ready for the party and being prepared. So it's like, because I can see a lot of this Divine Feminine is just like someone is an over preparer, and their Divine Masculine or other people, give them a hard time. And at the same time, it's like, well, you're welcome. And honestly, my shoulder hurts because I was carrying this for everybody, because you all forgot something. You were giving me a really hard time when I was planning. So I just feel like this Divine Feminine has been feeling lonely and left out, and it wants to take the lead in a way where it's like, I want to feel acknowledged in a joint coupled relationship, whether it's a family that's all working together, or a friendship, that because the time is very valuable. So even your closest friends can drain you if all you're doing is talking about negative topics. And sometimes your friends know that about you, which is very frustrating. And it's very hard to let someone down and just be like, I need me time. And they think that, you're upset with them without realizing that, you're protecting your energy, your space, your time, everything. Excuse me. But I do feel the Divine Feminine at this point a little bit lonely, wanting to share our time with someone else, So there's a hope that someone's going to come along. And so she's just waiting, and she's just camouflaged because she's comfortable being herself. She doesn't have to sort of stick herself out there at this point and be like, please come and get me and take me out. She's way beyond that if she's ever been, feeling like she's had to do that. And, in many aspects, we've been like that, whether we realize they were or not. But so then a lot of times the male in nature, they have a little bit more of contrasting of colors or just a bold, bright spot, like a target type of color to them, and sort of a bright sound to attract the female. And so I kind of feel this Divine Feminine in this stage of waiting for a Divine Masculine to attract them, and then also keeping their options open. Because they get to pick, because they want to have the say. It's like, I want to feel in that space where I've attracted so much abundance. I get to let you know. But I don't feel like this is in a toxic way from a Divine Feminine. I feel like it's more like I've come so far. If I'm going to choose a partner, if I'm going to start a new business, if I'm going to give my time and energy to some kind of relationship, some kind of podcast even, some kind of interactive anything, I want to make sure it nurtures me. So, and there's nothing wrong with that, because this type of person is not waiting to attack another male, because then it was like you're still wounded and you wouldn't be just waiting, then would you? And then I do feel it's like she's in this wounded spot where she's still trying to decide, like, am I comfortable enough to reach back out and have that joint relationship? It's like when you go on a blind date, you have no idea who you're going to meet, and it's honestly miserable. And sometimes you say you're never going to do it again, and then you do it again because it's hard to meet somebody. But when you go, you have no idea if you're going to have a mutual conversation where it feels relaxing and safe, or if you're going to have to be on the defense. And you don't want to have to be on the defense because you're already wounded. It's like, why would you waste your time on that? So everybody gets stressed out at the possibility of having to date again. But I'm just saying, you want to be able to have somebody come towards you and make you feel safe before you can reach back out. I kind of feel like that's the situation you're in. You do want to have a nurturing relationship at this time, but one that fits, that honestly feels like a protective environment. And it doesn't mean you have to have a lot of money or a partner, but like, you don't want to get hurt. You want, a hammock. You want an umbrella. You want to be able to feel safe. I definitely feel like that's how the Divine Feminine feels at this time. Because a lot of feminines have, like, everybody needs a supporter and a nurturer. And a lot of Divine Feminines have been under attack most of their lives. And then a lot of other feminines that, are learning to become more of an integrated feminine, more of a nurturer, more kind and forgiving to themselves. I mean, some people are born with the mirror right in front of them. They have no choice but to acknowledge all of the pieces of themselves right away. And so they're already their biggest critic, but they have so much kindness within themselves, they can easily forgive themselves. They have no choice because they have to keep going. They're often left out. Otherwise, what are you going to do, lay on the street? I mean, that's why there's so much jealousy towards a divine person. But it's like they have had hardship because of your jealousy. That's what you're healing from, your jealousy. So that's like you can't be upset with somebody who's already got a full suitcase ready to go when you're, a manila folder with nothing in it, because you spend so much time getting angry. Somebody who is a divine being is simply kind. And, and it's like they do, it's like I can see I was gonna say it's not a bounce house, but it's almost like a safety where it's like, they have so much buoyancy that like that's what builds up resilience. They're to the point where you can't push them too far, but they are very forgiving. There is like this space between them where they understand humanness, just everything about a human, whether you're going to make mistakes or not, but they do play by the rules, and they are genuinely fair, and they are genuinely kind, and they look out for the whole, which means the whole team with a W. They don't look out just for themselves, because otherwise they don't see a point in playing a game. They like to enjoy fun, but they don't want malicious competition. I mean, there's a very clear divide. It is not difficult to tell the difference between somebody divine and then somebody who needs to work on themselves. A divine being knows that they've made mistakes, and they know they need to draw boundaries, but they're not saying they're going to draw boundaries and have meditation hour and then start open their mouth and, spreading all kinds of evil vibration, about someone else right next to their partner. Like you're not paying attention to yourself if you're a mean girl. So yikes. There's a difference about being particular. Like everybody has attitudes, everybody has personalities. That's what I was thinking about the other day. Like sometimes we snap at people and we are sorry, but a divine being does have the courage and the ability to apologize for that. And sometimes it's like, you please do not take it personal if this divine person is busy. Divine beings are constantly, people are watching them, staring at them, paying attention to them constantly. They're focused on themselves. If they want to say hello and give you a kind gesture, they will. And if they don't, they're not being rude. They're just focused on themselves. And if they're opinionated, they're just opinionated on themselves. And everybody's working on themselves. But you do understand the difference, please. So many divine feminines are attacked constantly for who they are, and it's like they don't want to just spend their whole day defending themselves because now they look angry, and they are angry. And it's like this is the exact opposite of what a divine feminine would be wanting right now. And it's like the chatter ones it's like their friends. I'm seeing like other divine you're not a divine feminine. Exactly. Like I'm seeing other feminines like yak. And it's just like, I have a headache. What is your problem? Like I also see like a lot, that's what I was getting back to, a lot of divine feminines are ready to attract their perfect partner, whoever it might be, and they still have this chatter in the background, and it causes them headaches, especially if it's a toxic, ex-partner that just won't go away. It's like you got your toxic ex-partner, you're trying to have a career because now you have to do it all by yourself and a family and find a decent partner that makes you feel good. There's a big difference between getting married and having a family and then having a partner that makes you feel good, enjoying your life, no matter what day it is or how much money you have. There's a huge, that's the whole problem. So, this divine feminine could be very satisfied with little, but please give them what they want. You can see them like if they like certain things, it's like please do respect who they are. They get disrespected a lot, but it's like, excuse me, I do like these certain things. It doesn't mean I'm flashy. It's honestly none of your business. These are special to me. The divine feminine has to defend herself constantly, and it's none of your business. And the divine feminine doesn't like to be rude, but they don't like to be disrespected. It's very hard life for a divine feminine because they have to stay on path for who they are. They always have a job to do. But when so many people are opinionated, like you won't see her spreading her mouth around to every single other person about every single other person. She's way too sure of herself to do that. Especially when you look around yourself and you see everybody else a hot mess. The divine feminine is actually usually being under attack, and she's too used to crying out for help and getting no help. So don't expect to keep coming in here and attacking her without her defending herself. That gets really old. Let's see what we have going on for the divine feminine because I feel frustrated. Okay. You're ready to attract your perfect partner. You don't have time for anybody's BS. And a lot of times, especially right now, I feel like you're trying to be so sweet and kind and gracious and forgiving, and then everybody wants their time and everybody wants you to put on a smile for them, and it's honestly extremely annoying. And if you want to do your own thing or look, how you want to feel that day, everybody has an opinion, and it gets overwhelming. It's like the solo life of Divine Feminine. What do we have here today? I have the 5 of Wands. Oh, card's hard to get up. The Queen of Swords. I feel like you're having a really hard time getting out from someone's, like, underneath someone's thumb, which is frustrating. And the 7 of Wands. And the 8 of Cups. Whoever this Divine Feminine is she's just very ready to have her own life, and she's having a difficult time breaking away from some type of authoritative figure. Whoa, sorry about that. I honestly feel her planning and getting ready to do something because she's determined to have a good life. I'm just fixing this. I'm sorry for that. That's crazy. Let's see what these are. The 5 and the 4, which is a 9. And then the 6. That's 15. So that's the Devil and the Lovers. It's almost like you are so loving, but you have people around you. You almost feel like they're sent to you by someone else or another group of people. It could be your friends, it could be your family. It's almost like they do it from behind your back. They might have been doing it since childhood. You get singled out a lot and you constantly feel like you have to defend yourself. But you're a very, very sweet person. You do like to do your own thing. It's like if someone's just like, hey, what do you want to do? Usually you would think of something that you wanted to do because you do want to have the best time. However, it's like the people around you are really, really harsh. This is strange. I feel like a younger group is ready to sort of break out from someone or some kind of organization or schooling, family. They just really want their own life. They might want to dress a certain way, a different way. They might want to have some kind of project, some family. I see like a lot of people wanting to be just very creative and using all of their time to just study and learn and make things and meet people, and whoever's in their family or friend group really does not want them to. But it's like you're like, it's like, yeah, I see Moana, and you're like, I just can't help it, the water calls to me. Yeah, it's like you want to go off and be a traveler, like whatever your life plans were that you almost have been waiting to reveal to people, or haven't told people you didn't want to do that yet, or maybe you've been battling with people kind of behind the scenes for a little bit. It's like you've secretly been planning this wanderlust life for yourself, and I feel like you're just getting ready to take off and leave, like with whatever this is that you're doing right now. I feel like you're hopeful of attracting a partner, but you're just like really just waiting. You really don't want any negativity or fighting at all. No toxic behavior. It's like you're running away from toxicity. Let's see. Divine Feminine, what's going on? Is this about travel plans? I don't know. You might be worried about leaving. Somebody's worried about buying a one-way ticket and not being able to get back. Somebody wants to travel to their lover and make a proposal. Somebody's worried about their lover coming to their family home, and then their family not liking their lover. Let's see. Yeah, there's somebody that wants to run away together. But whoever this is feminine is like, she's making up her mind and she's doing it behind the scenes, whether you like it or not. Like, she's had enough. Not only this person is really mean, like it could be your boss, could be one of your best friends, and it could be your mother or sister or something like that. They're really mean and harsh with their words. And no matter what you do, they just create hardship on your life. Like, they're always changing plans. You always have something you have to do for them. It's just always very different. There are so many rules. You're ready to get away. This Divine Feminine is ready to get away. I don't think so. It's my turn. We have the Knight of Cups. You might already have a lover that you're trying to get to, or you just want to escape your environment to seriously get to a person. Like, I really feel like you're ready. And you could be getting closer to, the age where it gets more difficult to conceive, to have children. And you kind of really feel like the time is now. So why are you holding me back? Like, I see in some families, like, there's this older woman. She's not of childbirth giving age, okay? And she's giving this Divine Feminine an extremely hard time for wanting to have children, and slow her down and slow her down. And it's like, this is my turn and I'm honestly running out of time, is how one of these Divine Feminines feels. Like, please do not interrupt my romantic relationships. Yeah, we have the King of Coins that is trying to come out in reverse. You might be a very successful person already, or your family or whoever's kind of in your immediate environment want you to just focus on work. You might have been focusing on work your whole entire life, and you just want to have something beautiful and loving in your life. Like, it really feels like it's your turn, and you honestly mean it with the most respect. And I'm not sure if you have a lot of pressure because people count on you. You could be in the public eye. You don't have to be, but it kind of feels like a lot of people keep tabs on you. So it's almost like some of the people in your immediate environment feel like, we can't let anybody know it's not time to come out with this yet. There's going to be too much backlash. You can't announce that you want a family or you want to do something different or anything like that. There's definitely that situation. So it's like you not only have to worry about the money and other people, you have to worry about the press, is how this one feels. But you do have someone that you're trying to get to, or someone wants to get to you, and you don't want these other people to shut them down or block them out, because you do have just as many sweet feelings for them as they have for you. So it's like, this is, if you're already interested in someone, this is not someone that you want to let go. No. So I do feel like the Divine Feminine already has her eye on someone. And it's like, once the Divine Feminine actually has her eye on someone for real and she's already in this mode, honestly, there's really not much stopping her from getting what she wants, or at least getting closer to what she wants. Because if a relationship is what a Divine Feminine wants, then a relationship is what the Divine Feminine will attract. We have the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Wands. Yes, I certainly feel like that would be the case. And the Divine Feminine has been working on herself for so long. She honestly looks very, very good at this time. And if you are a Divine Feminine and you're watching this, you're feeling like, man, I've really let myself go because of the stress of not being able to be myself or try to be with the person that I want to care about, or even just be available. You are the type of person that will be able to get in shape, very quickly, get yourself back. Like, once you become integrated enough to fully understand humans, to understand nature of all kinds, okay, then you have this understanding and acceptance within yourself and of everything around you. So then life just becomes, what can I make out of it, and how can I have my most beautiful life with playing with all of the beauty that is around me, with as much knowledge as I can gain by just being me and being curious and making things and trying new things. And eventually you're going to want to fall in love and have a partner, okay? Children look up to their family for other peer support and friendship love and nurture and family love and nurture. And then when you become an adult, or coming of age to the point where you start being romantically attracted to someone, that happens naturally in its own time. So in a healthy family and healthy relationships, that is a lot easier when it's time to attract a beautiful partner or make yourself, your most divine self, so that you can, be that other person in a relationship. But this Divine Feminine is certainly ready for that, and the people around them are very aware that this Nine of Wands is the hot, ready to go. Like, like a gold mine. Like they're ready to hold down their fort. They're everybody's wish come true. They're their own wish come true, and they're going to make their life beautiful no matter how much money they have or not. Because this type of person can handle it. That's what I'm saying. Like if you overslept one day, if you had a bad night out, if you overate too much, that's okay. Like you can still hold down the fort. You are the type of person that can put it back together. You've already healed enough to be that responsible, safe adult. You really, truly are. So that's when you're honestly done with everybody's attacks. You're just ready to attract your mate. And people know this. So when people know this, that's when the heat starts to kick up from anybody that wants to keep you away from your 10, your true happiness. Because this divine feminine is tired of going it alone. There's the 9, and the 1. She wants to have a supportive partner. So that Queen of Spades back there does not want this divine feminine to get rest. As simple as that. Whoever that is, whether it's your friend group, you got to take a look. It's like, why am I always in a hurry right now? How come I can't get 5 more minutes? Why am I out of breath? How come I'm wearing 2 different color shoes? It's like, why did you rush me? How come you made me feel like I didn't want to go for that person I wanted to be with? Why did you change the plan because you knew so-and-so was going to be there? Like, you're going to start to find out. It's like, you are going to catch that right away. This is the best night out you've ever had, and all of a sudden, like, your friends change plans on you, and you realize it's because of man you've been crushing on us down the street. And it was like, this was gonna be the night, but how come your friends swayed you in a different direction? It's like, that's the stage you're at. You're that, like, sitting, beautiful mate that your divine partner is also equally attracted to if you were to encounter them. Yes. So we have the Queen of Cups and the Moon, okay? I honestly feel like you're very, very courageous at this time because you know you have a lot of haters. Like, you know how amazing you look, but you still have to stay humble, which is really frustrating because there's so much negativity in your environment. That's the only frustrating part about it. It's like, just let me be me, please. But you're also trying to figure out, like, one who is in the way, because at this time the divine feminine does not have time to mess around with anyone in the way of her happiness. So you certainly have people that are causing you illness, like physical illness, and you might be aware at this time, like, certain places that you go, certain things that you read, certain things that you watch or consume, whether you're eating it or reading it with your eyes, it makes you feel not well. So you might actually be feeling physically ill at this time, or mentally unwell, meaning like you might have really severe headaches, you might be feeling confusion, and that's on top of you already being fabulous. So that's really hard to maintain, feeling fabulous and looking who it's like everybody expects you to look this certain way and they think you're not taking care of yourself. Like, you already like to take care of yourself. Just please, if everybody could leave you alone. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, if I don't look like myself, I obviously don't feel well, so could you leave me alone? So it's like, this divine feminine is not getting enough rest. What else do we have here? And the worst part is like, she does need a partner, whether she needs real, true, supportive friends that can support her, whether she needs real good coworkers or employees that can support her, real staff anywhere, even if that's in the household. She needs to be able to have a good communicative relationship with her children if she has that, family life that she needs to continue to take care of and worry about. But it's like, this divine feminine also needs to be taken care of. She cannot nurture you if she's not nurtured in return. That's very, very painful for her. When you're expecting her to be the leader, and at the same time you're giving her all these limitations while knowing she's already the 9 waiting for the 10. So can she have her other wand, please? It's just very insulting to this divine feminine, I feel. What else is going on with her? We have the 8 of Wands. I honestly feel like she's fed up. Like, if you have a divine feminine in your life and you're watching this, I feel like she's starting to seriously get fed up with the ones closest to her. I feel like she's seriously going to make her move. It's going, like, this divine feminine doesn't play. Like I said, they have this ability to absorb so much of all your toxicity because they are the divine one. But at the same time, that's when they're going to be like, I don't think so. And you don't realize, like, sometimes it's hard for a divine feminine to stand up for themselves, because when you hurt them so much, they get very emotional. They're so wounded, tears come out. They shut down. Because how could you? Like, betrayal is very, very harsh to divine feminine. They've gone through too much. So they could be preparing to leave behind the scenes, and you might be completely confused and not even be paying attention to the fact that you've hurt them this bad. So that's just a warning for anyone that's severely hurt their divine feminine too much. It's like, at some point she will take off, and she is that person that's like, it is too late, you hurt me too bad, and I cannot believe you may let it go on this long. And that is that one thing where it's like, I hate to tell you, but now you're gonna have to start over, because she said goodbye for her own health, you know. I know, it's like this is going to come up reverse. It's like she feels like somebody has held her back for too long. And then not only that, did not take care of her at a time where she asked for help again and again and again and again. And she wasn't taken seriously when she really didn't feel well. And she did need help, and she did need assistance. And she felt like she had to do it all alone. But she needed assistance. So that's extremely frustrating. Like, this guy has his eyes kind of closed, or there's something going on with his eyes, and then this guy has something over his eyes, and then there's something's going on with his eyes over here too. So it's like something's happened where if you were part of a loving relationship, this divine feminine is like, I don't know if she's feeling if it's very loving anymore. If this was something, if you've been in a relationship for a long time, I feel like this would be a warning to a masculine or the partner to feel like your divine feminine is starting to be like, I'm honestly on my way out here, and you're just not noticing. You know, and this is that time where you start to lose relationships because you're not paying attention. I mean, there's a huge difference between being toxic and not really going through everything, and then just not paying attention and letting your person take all of the hits and all of the heat and not realizing that it actually really hurts. Because she won't put up with toxicity any longer. She's going to find something else, whether it's alone or someone else for a little bit to get a little bit of comfort, and then alone again. Because she's really wounded at this point. You do need to recognize that. Yeah, so it's like, go back, hubby. Yeah, go back to your wife quick. Like, yeah, she honestly needs you right now. Yeah, so like this was a male trying to figure out what's going on with his feminine. I would say you're working way too much. You could be gambling too much. You certainly could be partying too much. You're doing too much guy thing. You're doing too much business. There's too much weird competition going on where your person is getting ignored and not being taken care of. And to the point where they're feeling like they have to figure something out on their own, that they don't have the information to. It's like it wouldn't be their natural thing that they're good at, or like something's wrong where it's like, I could have used your help. Like, I'm also seeing like couples that have split apart, you know, and maybe they're doing co-parenting or something like that, but it's like the feminine out there like still needs some kind of assistance, and she just really hurt. And like, this is not a type of person that should be hurt like this, because they're a really kind, good person, and they might be single and solo and not have much and really have gone through so much and alone. And it's like, if there's a masculine in their life that wasn't paying attention, usually this person would acknowledge how strong of a being this divine feminine is. Yeah. Even if the past, like if your ex-person was really toxic, you know, and they didn't see this divine feminine for who she was, hopefully he would be smart enough to know, like, actually, like, that person needs a little bit of assistance. If you had some respect a little bit, could you go back and help your divine feminine? Because I honestly feel like this person has no assistance from anyone right now. She's not with the person she wants to be with, and then there's someone in the background kind of holding her back from a good person. So sometimes it's like she's even like, is there anybody that could bring in assistance, even if you're a creepo? Yes, like, I'm not trying to be desperate. Like, I didn't say we were gonna get together romantically, but it would be nice if I had someone in my direction. Like, this is where it's like 10 people ask you and you said no, and then by the 11th time you're like, fine, I'm freaking thirsty, and then they end up your boyfriend. You're like, you have no idea what I've been through. So I feel for the divine feminine. Okay, I guess I have to get moving because I'm taking too long now. I'm supposed to use speed reads. So I know when she goes on a date with her 11th ask or whatever, and then he doesn't even want to listen to her. He only talks about himself. He answers his phone when it rings. He doesn't care about her. He calls her creative career a craft project. It's really rude. And then you wonder why people fall apart. And so don't feel bad if you're like, I'm not divine and this is your story. You are, but that's what happens. So that's when you're like, I'm not putting up with it anymore. I guess I'll be single for the rest of my life. And then that's when we have to look at the economy and be like, why is it so hard for a single? Like, why would she have to sell her body and get on drugs just to afford the rent? You have no idea how many jobs a single person has to work just to afford the basics, and they can't even have any kind of assistance. And if this divine feminine doesn't feel good, there's literally no one there to help her at all. It's very disgusting. And then all of a sudden you end up in nasty land. It wasn't your fault. You were not supported. It's disgust. Yeah, it's like this person has been fighting their whole life against other people. And it's just, you cannot blame yourself. I know. You have to scrounge up some pennies. You have to pick, up bottles and cans like these, scrounge some pennies, buy a Vogue, keep it under your mattress for 3 decades. And still, you're wondering why nobody's noticing you. It's really heartbreaking. This poor divine feminine. The good news is no means no, and you're ready to be you. So you're still that Nine of Coins, but you're honestly annoyed because the Nine of Pentacles came out twice and she came out in reverse. You haven't gotten your payday and you don't want to be a single. So this would be a time where I feel like you do, if there's a divine masculine watching, it'd be like, this is when you share it to your friend. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that button. Hopefully they watch it. Your person needs some protection, y'all. But the good news is divine feminine. I'm pretty sure that you'll find it. I really hope you do. We could see what's going on with the divine masculine, see if he's on the way. I feel you just tired and wounded and exhausted. And it's like, you can't quit. You have no choice. You're not going to lay in the gutter. Nobody's noticing you in the right way. Like, how come I looked fat today? For real, I worked so hard. And today was a total bust. Like, today I found 2 cans. I know it was cold yesterday, but apparently nobody parties in college towns anymore. And it just really hurt my feelings. It sucked. Yeah. There's so much lack for the poor divine feminine. That's the state we're in, but at least that came up, right? And then hopefully people will take note and, get rid of the mean girl groups and then honestly take people as the individuals they are and truly give them some real kind of assistance. Because this would indicate to me that while the divine feminine is working on herself, being a good citizen, being kind, being creative, anything that anybody could ever ask anyone ever when they learned law as they were growing up. She's doing all of the right things. Then it would indicate that the justice system would need to come in and make sure that she was at least financially taking care of a tiny bit while she tries to attract her perfect partner. Because not everybody is married and has a great life and a stable home. Some people are single. Some people have been alone their whole lives. Some people have had life disasters, and they honestly do need help. And you really need to check the employees that work at some of these companies that are responsible for giving these type of people assistance, that are certainly not doing that. They are withholding any kind of assistance that the single person can have. She doesn't have her nasty baby daddy in the picture helping her. She doesn't have a true divine person in the picture coming in to save the day. And she can't even get, a couple dollars for food stamps or anything. I mean, it's honestly really sad. So it would be a good time to start taking care of people that truly need help. This divine feminine is a very good person and clearly needs a little bit of assistance. That's where we are. That's the energy check on today. Honestly, I'm hopeful for the divine feminine that things are going to get better. Today it's Thursday, March 19, 2026. I'm in Washtenaw County, Michigan, and I'm living this real life experience for myself. So I would give any advice out there to anyone who is going through this as a divine feminine, keep as much documentation as you can, because even when mean girls don't want to make appointments and they like to pretend that you didn't show up, or they like to change certain things about you, about art you've made, about things that you've done, about things that you said or haven't said, and then they get enough people together to do he said, she said, I mean, you know where you are. There's literally video cameras everywhere now on every single street corner, okay? You keep being the good person that you are. You keep keeping your documents. You stay kind. You stay good. You know what I mean? Like, put those addictions aside if you have. Not every divine feminine has an addiction, but that's what they look for. You know, they hurt you so bad, they want you to mess up so they can blame it on you for something. You just keeping a good person, because eventually the ones that were in the way of you getting any kind of justice, they will get caught. Like, they will be dealt with. Especially for getting here to the justice system and you still getting annoyed, okay, and ignored. This type of person should never have been ignored, should never have been left alone, and should never have not been taken care of. And here they are alone. You may be with your children or without your children, but this person does not have a very big supportive family with tons of money, and they certainly don't have a partner right now that is paying for everything for them. This divine feminine is not only in physical pain, but she is out alone. So she is due for some real recompense, some real justice, some real restitution. Because when you compare all the other people on paper, on camera, and then you say, oh, we have to treat everyone as they're the same. Well, we're going to take a look at every single individual that got helped, but the divine feminine was left out in the fucking dirt. And then we're going to talk to the employees. So you keep saying divine feminine. I know that you're getting hurt. I know that you're getting ignored. And I know that you're a very good, safe adult and a good person. So try to continue to be safe and keep those notes, because he said, she said will never add up. Too many people notice you. There's way too many people to notice you, to know your every single day activities, every single day. I'm talking every day. Everywhere you go, everywhere you've been, anything you've consumed, you keep the receipts, and so do other people. So this mean group that's not giving you any kind of support or assistance, they will be taken care of. They will be. Just because you joined a group and it's secret does not mean that it's not against the law. That's a warning to anyone who's hurting a divine feminine right now. Okay, good luck, divine feminine. We'll check in soon, and hopefully your financial, like your housing situation has gotten a little bit better here. And hopefully we've made some progress towards a sweetheart or a loving divine masculine. You're hoping that you can, at least attract into your energy or have some kind of stability to be able to have more relationships and hobbies, because you're truly an empress. You're truly a beautiful queen of cups and a divine person. You don't deserve to be so hurt. The neglect and the abuse is extremely against the law. Extremely. And you have so much backing. A mean group cannot take you down for this long and not pay for what they've done. So good luck, divine feminine. Okay, let's roll right into the divine masculine. Hi, divine masculine, and welcome to your reading. I certainly hope you watch the divine feminine reading, because she is at the point where she's kind of out there alone right now, feeling unsupported, whether she's in a relationship with somebody or not. I didn't see very many relationship cards, so I feel like the divine feminine is ready to have a relationship. I feel like the divine masculine is also getting ready to have a relationship that he truly wants and desires. Because for some reason, I feel like that while I was shuffling your cards, I felt the feeling of romance. And I felt the divine masculine sort of stepping into more of a traditional role of romance. I mean, it's okay to have a same-sex relationship, okay? But don't forget that relationships nurture each other. So you have to still take on certain roles in your relationship, whether they're always changing or not. One, to have trust, and two, to make sure that your relationship stays strong and stable. I feel like if the divine masculine has been in relationships in the past, they have not been very nurturing to him, or stable. I mean, he might have had a nurturing relationship in his very young youth, okay, where he has possibly seen what a divine feminine is like. He might have seen her on TV, the image of what a divine feminine could be like if he had one in his life. And of course, you could have the opposite spectrum where you've never experienced a divine feminine. So you've been with a lot of, unhealed feminines in the past, and you would like to experience, an equal give and take type of relationship. And I feel like this divine masculine recognizes that a divine feminine also wants to be taken care of. Like, you do have within so much gender issues. I mean, really, if you, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, but I feel like, honestly, it feels like a mean guy, mean girl competition over creativity and style. Because if you were really to just appreciate the gender you were born with, it's the same thing if you were to be born with some kind of handicap. Okay, it's like you're going to have to love the body that you were born with. We do have enough medical care now. It's like if you had something that was causing you pain in some kind of deformity or malfunction in the body that can be fixed, everybody should have the right to get that kind of medical care. But at the same time, it's like you honestly need to love being yourself. So it's like if somebody came up to you and they said, if you could be anybody today, who would you be? It's like the right answer is, well, myself. And a lot of divine masculines hopefully are getting to that point where they realize, like, I wouldn't want to be anyone other than myself. There are so many books out there. There is every single podcast that I could ever learn from multiple lifetimes. There's not enough time in every single day to continue to learn things. There's not enough space on, the planet that I could, explore in one lifetime. So there's so many places to visit, and I do feel like the divine masculine, if you're stepping into that role, you understand that you want to have some kind of trustworthy relationship to share that with, okay? Whether it's one person, whether it's a family, whether it's just starting the right business or having the right kind of friend group finally, your time is just as valuable as the divine feminine. So everything you do really needs to nurture you, okay? Whether that's you being single and just understanding that every single part of your day needs to be with someone that has some kind of understanding of who you are. You can't be fighting off ignorance all day long. You certainly don't have time for that. If that was your job, then you need to make sure you only work a 4-hour day, because it's too much to be fighting negativity all of the time, especially if you are around too many other males and females that are really toxic. I feel divine masculine is suffocated by so much toxicity. A lot of the masculines I feel like you need more company than a feminine does. She has no problem kind of going off alone into solitude, because it's a lot easier for her, and for you too. If you got into a creative project, okay, it'd be easy for you to stay in work mode, okay? So it doesn't have to be just a female. But you can acknowledge the fact that when you get into focus mode on something, it's very easy for you to stay focused on that. And then the divine feminine part of you just wants to experience that, to the fullest, Make sure that you've had the right meal. Make sure that the lighting is right. And make sure that, you're taking care of your body in a way that you're healthy enough to enjoy whatever you're doing, especially if you're learning something. But I also feel like the divine masculine not only wants to take care of the divine feminine, but he's understanding that they can have an equal give and take, because when gender roles get distorted, you forget all of the nurture, because everyone is I'm an independent single, I'm doing it on my own. But both genders still want to be nurtured and taken care of and enjoy different things about different aspects of life. And then that can be, sometimes you need your partner to be doing that with you or initiate that with you, or you just want to experience it with someone. So let's see what we have going on. But I was feeling like the divine masculine, playing romantic music, maybe lighting candles, maybe preparing something nice for the divine feminine. Because honestly, whether the feminine acts like she wants to pay for dinner every single night or not, she wants to be taken care of. She wants to feel nurtured, okay? And I feel like the divine masculine wants to nurture his feminine, whether it's the same sex or not, because he wants to experience more beauty in his life both ways. It's never too late to continue to develop your taste. It's never too late to work on yourself. So you don't have to worry about that if you don't feel. And you should already know by now, a divine feminine is not concerned with all of the money. So you don't need to chase that down. A lot of divine masculines, are so concerned with having to be the support, especially at a younger age when you're in your late teens or 20s and 30s. You're very focused on your career, and that's good. And at the same time, you have to make sure that it's something that you love so you can attract a partner that you love. You know, because if you guys lost everything, if you got sick, if your partner got sick, you know, you might have to survive on less, and you have to be prepared to be able to enjoy your partner on less. And you have to make sure your partner can be prepared to enjoy you on less. A lot of masculines for so long have had to step in this role of providing for this huge estate, and they've been married off into families or just chosen, you know, the wrong partner because of the way that they look on the outside. But curb appeal is nothing if it's really airy and dark and nasty and on the inside. Okay, divine masculine, what's going on with you? Whoa. I feel like there are some divine masculines that are in competition with a friend, or in competition with more than one friend, or in competition with the type of person that they feel like they need to compete with as far as in society. Like, this man here really kind of feels left out, like the page, okay? It kind of has nothing. And then you got two guys over here that hold different type of knowledge or money or status in some way. So it's like this divine masculine must compare himself to other masculines a lot. Like, a lot. Whether you admit that you do or not, you're always comparing yourself to other men. But it's like the men that are in your area, okay, they hold nothing to you. They really don't. If you had the money, you would still be the best. If you know, were the strongest or the tallest or, you know, had the nicest things, you would still be the best. Like, you're in the upright. So you don't have to worry about that as much as you think. And it's so, there's this terrible discord about, it's like you've got the divine feminine over here alone and in solitude, and then you got the divine masculine over here feeling emasculated and either with the wrong partner or in the wrong family. It's like he's not in love with whatever he has already created, wherever you are at this point in your life. It's like the divine masculine wants to start over and take a new direction, whether you want to leave your friend groups or you're just starting to realize maybe a different way of life, or that love is more important than money. You might have had a mentor or a boss or someone who kind of made you compete with other people, or made you feel like being the most successful was the only thing, or being part of this organization or part of this company was the only thing that mattered. And it might have happened from a very young age when you kind of came up with this decision. Well, one, you're already lacking, and two, you need to not only be part of this, but be one of, if not the best. It's simply just because you wanted to attract your perfect life, but you're the type of person that's divine masculine. He honestly doesn't need that much. As long as you had love and knowledge and access to enough food, you guys would be able to make enough money. Like, you always have had that mentality. So you're kind of already the best, even though you still feel singled out in your friend group or your business or anything like that. There's an extreme amount of competition over you and stopping you in your tracks from wherever you want to go. Simply because you are the best, whether you felt like it or not, whether you're the shabbiest or not, everybody recognizes it, that you honestly are, it's like you're the hidden king, you know what I mean? So, divine masculine, today is March, I think it's the 19th. Today's Thursday, March 19, 2026. This is a timeless reading, but I'm honestly just doing a check-in into where we are at. I think that you're aware of these other male groups that possibly you're trying to break away from, and that you want your own life and your own partner. Like, I honestly also feel like you might be ready to attract your own divine feminine, or you might just be ready to be like, you know what, guys, this is me. If it was to your friend group or your family, like, this is me. I don't really care who you are, like like who you are or what you care about. Like, I'm still the King of Pentacles, whether you realize it or not, or if the other King of Pentacles didn't approve of you in your other life. But it's like, I feel like you need to, or you're starting to get into the mode of understanding, like, no matter how much you have or not, you're still your partner's wish come true. You really, truly are. Like, whether that's your intelligence. I mean, your knowledge of what you've learned from a misspent youth is just as attractive to your Queen of Pentacles, you know, as if it was if you were just like those other guys that you were having to compete with in the past or even now. Like, even if you don't feel as successful as other men or other people around you, your perfect partner does not see you that way. Even if you do. Like, your partner would really defend every single ideal you've ever had, everything you've really done, especially if you guys are so, you know, I'm seeing maybe activists or people who really support other people that have been down on their luck. Like, you might be the kind of person that you might be ready to change your life entirely. Like, yeah, I see a lot of humanitarianism. Is that, I don't know if that's how you say it. Yes, you really want your perfect family. Like, I seriously feel like you even might have these beautiful out-of-the-box ideas on how to help people who are seriously down on their luck financially or in some kind of societal economy type of thing. Okay, you might want to change the hierarchy of how it's done and how people earn their money and how people receive their justice, how people can have their families. I'm seeing different types of mentorship. Like, I really feel like everything of who you are and what you've seen growing up, you have a lot of great ideas and how you can create beautiful, it's more than justice. It's like, you don't want to teach people just about, you know, financial advising and saving your money after retirement. You would rather teach, you know, families who are poor or, you know, mistreated youth or people that have been abused or people that have been mislooked or things like that, because you've seen it. Like, you haven't had a very good life. You haven't had the most of everything always. Or if you've had the most of everything, you've been very humbled in a way where you've seen the worst of the worst. It's almost like this person might have even had a near-death experience where they realized, you know, like, things are not the way that they appear to be over with the other financial male dominant group over that. It's honestly not like that. And this King of Pentacles realizes that life is about love and support for everyone. Like, equality is how you feel, this divine masculine. And you might have just, honestly, it's like a lot of these divine masters, like, where are all the divine masculines at? It's like, some of them are completely solo, just like not even thinking they could have their 10 of cups, because this guy came out in reverse at first. So it's like, did you not realize you have a perfect partner down the street that is calling to you? And your partner's like, I cannot believe you never asked me out. So I definitely feel that. It's like, I think it's time for you to put yourself out there. Be that flashy, like, go in there and just wow her with your ability to create some justice. You know what I mean? That's going to get her attention. Like, who is this? Who's this guy? I feel like the divine masculine is afraid to put himself out there at this time. Like, he knows, if only they could see me for me. And it's like, you have this perfect pair so close to each other but so far away. If only this divine masculine could get the courage to put out his peacock feathers. That's how I feel right now. Yes, it's like all of your spirit team is like, just go for it. I feel like you might know someone has their eye on you. Okay, like, you might have your eye on someone, but honestly, I feel like there's a certain divine masculine who's watching or might need to be sent this reading. But you're just kind of like, how did you not see that person was checking you out? And it's like his perfect partner, okay? Because this King of Pentacles, he's alone in his study with his dog, thinking about things. Okay, so it's like, if he even passes his perfect partner down the street, he might not even notice her, you know, because he's just not in that mode of, he might not even think he has the ability to attract his perfect partner. It's like, what's wrong with this guy? I know, because to the Queen of Pentacles over here, she's like, he has my perfect. Look how satisfied she looks. I was like, is that guy okay? because he's kind of a little bit aloof when it comes to the fact that she's like, I'm waiting over here, and he hasn't said anything because you came up reversed it at first. But look at, this is the potential here. If you just went in and said something to this divine feminine here, she might like jokes. I was like, should I use my wit? Use anything. Like, at this point, the divine feminine is not picky and she's not mean. Just don't be a jerk. Do not come to her with any kind of I'm a mean boy in grade school kind of thing, because that's just going to upset her. But you should definitely just, I was going to say give her a compliment, and then someone was like, talk to her about travel. I don't know. But it's almost like, okay, so I'm thinking here's a clue for somebody. Someone's like talked about travel, but there's somebody who lives in your area. It's a feminine, okay? She lives in the area. She cares about the neighborhood. So she doesn't want to talk about somewhere else. She's like, why can't we make our area beautiful? I love my home. So that's something like that. It's like she doesn't want to, like, wherever she is, whatever she's built, whatever she makes, she's really proud of it. So I would just give her a compliment on something she does or an idea she had, even if her idea never came to fruition, okay? Go back and be like, well, what was her proposal? Like, what are her beliefs? Because you just really need to support whatever she wanted originally or what she's already built. And she's gonna be like, you know what? I completely agree with you. And it's like two minds think alike. And right behind that is your 10 of Cups. Like, first you're like, you randomly meet and you're like, you talk about, because you're a lonely person, then you guys share an idea about the economy or the neighborhood or the park or something like that, and then you're like, you know what, we could do it right here, we don't have to close this down or shut it down. And right behind there, after a couple first dates, it's your 10 of Cups. But you're gonna get, like, you're gonna know, because you're gonna feel excitement, and you're gonna be like, what's this weird feeling? The weird feeling is you're attracted to someone else. That's what your weird feeling is. That's so funny. You're the Emperor. Congratulations. You've been holding yourself back. I know. Maybe you need to go get it. Okay, watch the movie Moonstruck for some of you. For others of you, you could watch the movie You've Got Mail is another one. Okay, so those are two movies to just get you an idea about the divine feminine. She's really had to fight for something that she loves, and she's very sentimental. Okay, your divine feminine who's ever watching this right now. So you just need to come in with you don't even need a book of talking, like someone wants to do talking points. No. What you want to have is just find out what she's passionate about and simply ask her a question about some kind of project she's working on, or compliment her on something she's doing. And that's just going to get her going on something she feels very good about. You just need to just sit there and just listen, okay? And then truly listen so that you can just respond to what she's saying, okay? So it's going to go really smooth. I know, it really is. I'm really excited for this divine masculine, because I honestly feel like you thought in the past, or you currently still be a little nervous about being with your perfect partner. But it is honestly going to be a lot easier than you think. It's okay to get rejected. The easiest thing to do is just compliment her on something that she loves. So I don't like it when I get asked questions, like, don't ask her something small. Like, you really have to come out with something that she's already done. Like, hey, I really liked the idea that you had about this and this and this. Or if you're going to ask a question, it needs to be, I don't want to irritate her either. Like, you do understand her time is important. The question needs to pertain to something that she cares about. It can't just be random small talk. She doesn't like stuff like that. Waste her time. And it's very cheesy, yeah. But you're such an intelligent person. This would be really easy for you. Like, you're really intelligent. So if you, like, let's say she wrote a book on plants, you just ask her a question about plants that she can get excited to answer. Make it kind of a rare question that she'd be like, oh, I didn't think about it like that. It honestly is going to be way easier than you think, because you are intelligent enough to listen to her. And you like conversation. So, because you want an intelligent partner yourself. So this type of person, you honestly don't have to worry so much. I think because your person that you're interested in is so very beautiful, you think that she's going to be a lot harsher than she really is. But I don't see this person as coming across as harsh. She just wants to be respected. Like, respect would be the first name that you can't see on your Queen of Pentacles. She just wants to be respected for who she is. So she does not like to be ignored, and she does not want to be taken advantage of. Okay, but you're aware of that. Oops, sorry about that. I feel like you've been waiting for this for a very long time. You're getting anxiety about being with someone. You might be worried that you're running out of time. You might be feeling like you still need to hurry up to accomplish something before you go to the person that you're interested in. If it's somebody that made you feel like you didn't have enough, well, you truly wouldn't want to go for them in the first place, or stay in that relationship, or continue that. Because whoever this person is that you're already eyeing, or maybe you just haven't been paying attention enough, there's somebody in your peripheral already that feels just as neglected as you, just as unseen as you. This is for a different group. This would be like for a divine masculine that wants to start over with a relationship, and you want questions on that. So we're going to flip to a new group of divine masculines here. It feels like you potentially had someone in the past that took a great care for you, whether it was romantic or not. There were certain rules in the relationship where you sort of had free reign to do honestly as much as you wanted to do. You could pretty much pursue anything within your relationship that you wanted to. You might have ended that relationship now, or you might want to rekindle an old relationship that you feel bad for ending, that you kind of left them out. If this was your ex, you might want to fix it because you want a new start. Let's see. The Hangman. It's possible that you feel like you really messed up about something. One person is saying they didn't have the information, so how could they make the right decision if they didn't even have the information? That's fine, but I would just say when you go to talk to your person, you're a little aggressive. I mean, this person's been hurt. Whether they were like really harsh on you at the beginning, that's fine. But like you said, they don't have all the information. The last thing you'd want to come back at your divine feminine with is more agitation. Whoever wants to forgive who, if communication is the issue, then forgiveness needs to happen. But you need to have a full conversation, peaceful conversation. I feel like either this would be the relationship, whether you're going to step right back into poverty again, or you both truly would have to make it your everyday, all day type of focus to repair whatever had been lost. Whatever this group is, there's so many mistrust issues between you and your person. I honestly do not know if what you had could be restored. It's possible there was some kind of miscommunication where you both lost everything, and then because you both lost everything, you separated. And there might be, for another group, there might be secrets back here, and then you might want to at least be able to communicate the truth behind what really happened. So you could potentially repair your relationship, or at least get out, or find the person who hurt both of you. You know what I mean? So some kind of portrayal of poverty over a couple. They were guilty though. So let's see. I can't be. I feel like the pressure of someone to know, are they going to be with me or not? Then you're not really a divine masculine yet. That's where it's that if you were here, you're not sure. And it's if that person's well, are you going to do this or you're not? And it's we haven't even had 5 minutes and you're already asking me another question. Obviously the answer is no. I already feel whack. I haven't regenerated for 5 minutes and I feel exhausted. It's if that's the type of person you're with, it's possible they're still hiding something. People like that, it's really annoying. You know, like, why are you working so hard to frustrate me? That's kind of how I feel. I don't know. I wanted to say for that person, like, if it's a divine feminine watching, honestly, I don't know. And if somebody has come in and told you, like, rumors, and it's a trusted person, okay, and then you go back to your partner and they dog out your friend or whatever, I honestly don't know if your friend's the untrustworthy one. I'm going to be honest. Because I feel like whoever was supposed to be taking care of you, like, seriously dropped you. And they were working hard at something. Like, over a period of time, they dropped you. Whether, you knew it or not, doesn't make a difference. Yeah. I honestly feel like they either stole from you or they had a new friend, and it's like they opened the back door to your estate, so then somebody got in the way. I do feel like you're the guilty divine masculine, okay? Or if you're like with a Samuel, like, then that happened with your feminine, okay? She might have come in and started a relationship with a new person behind your back, and now you're in complete poverty and don't understand why. And well, that's another situation. Somebody brought in a new emperor when you were the King of Pentacles, okay? But all I feel is a lot of loss here. So especially, like, if you're the King of Pentacles wanting to get back with your partner, like, we have different people watching this, okay? Find which one resonates. But if you're trying so hard to get back with your partner and you're wondering why it's not working, and it's always like, we have gone over this so many times. We're trying to work on our trust. We're trying, it's like we've laid everything out there to see, but it's like they're still giving you a hard time. Like, they're still doing something shady then, and you're trying everything that you can. So you don't have to recognize at some point something is still going on if they can't stop bringing up the past, and then we're still involved in a toxic relationship, then, aren't we? And why are you trying to make this so difficult for me? I feel like they kind of hurt you really quickly and a wound, and you get taken off for a minute. Like, he's giving this look like, why did you just do that? I thought we were working on that kind of thing. And if you're resonating with what I'm saying, then your partner is still doing some shade. Yeah, that would be time when you need to end that relationship. They're still manipulating you. And a lot of divine masculines get manipulated in this way by a really angry partner. It's like no matter what you do for them, they're never satisfied. That happens so often. And then it's like the divine feminine's like, where are all the divine masculines at? They're with a divine feminine, or they're completely aloof to the fact that I exist. I mean, they're with a nasty person that calls themselves a divine feminine. Yeah, they're over here knocking this tower on the divine feminine, pretending that they're the divine. Like, just because you call, like, yourself the wife doesn't mean you're a good wife. That's for a lot of people. Like, just because you call yourself the mom or the teacher or the boss doesn't mean you're legit. Just a reminder for some people. Yeah, your foes are coming up in reverse, divine masculine. This divine masculine has a lot of people in his immediate surroundings that make the rules for him. So he kind of feels like he doesn't really have a choice. For most of your life, you've probably felt like that. Like, you always felt like the underdogs. You have to earn whatever it is. Even if you came from a lot of money, it's like you feel like you have to earn something, or you have to find something. You have to be this certain person. But it's like, you always have somebody really harsh in your way, wanting to pull up wounds for no reason. This type of person, yeah, like every time you try to get happy, every time you want to be stable, you want to have a family, someone's coming in here giving you constant judgment, constant worry, constant fear, this extreme amount of stress. Whoever the divine masculine is surrounded by at this point, it's stress. Even if you have your own family, okay, and you're happy with your partner, you have a lot of this energy of people wanting to come in and steal from you guys and knock everything over on top of you. So there's a lot of pain, and there's a lot of stress, and then somebody behind the scenes doing really creepy stuff. So it's like the divine masculine is always worried about people coming in and infiltrating his happiness, or just trying to break away from people that are constantly in the way. It's like he can't get out the door to freedom to get to his lover, to his family, his Four of Wands. yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm almost seeing this man where it's like he grew up, he's like the poor boy in the kingdom, and he has to help all these other mean kings and jacks over here. But he's the true king, he's the divine masculine, and like, he can't escape all these other people that make all the rules and tell him he has to do all these things. It's like there's a lot of bosses and people that have say that are in the way, and he's having a hard time like, having his own dream going for what he wants, his happiness, his family, his stability, whatever he wants, even if he just wants to set up his own home and prepare for the life that he wants. Someone's in the way. I'm like, well, just wait. Well, no one's going to come over here, mom and dad, if I still live at my parents' house. There's like so many different types of people in the way of this masculine. And he's like, I can't keep doing this for you guys. I love you, but it's my turn. Someone's like, you can't go. Don't leave us, Johnny. And you're like, I'll still be around. So that's why it's like, what's the problem here for this guy that's trying to leave his family? Or whatever. That's when you're like, things are getting weird around here. And you're not paranoid, but it's seriously weird. Yeah, because it's almost like there was a sense of the divine feminine, like she felt like she was running out of time. So this divine masculine almost kind of feels like now is the time. It's like you get that urge. It's the time to go. Kind of feeling. And it's like I feel like the masculine knows like it's time for him to have his family. It's time for him to have his partner. But he needs to do it like with himself without interference. He is still a part of the family, or friends, business, whatever. But he does want to be himself. Why don't you want him to be himself? That's kind of like where we're always left with when they're having that intervention with the divine masculine. You're like, so what's honestly going on here? I get everything you guys are saying, but why do I have to do it behind closed doors on everything you're saying? Why is this weird like that? It's like, yeah, the divine masculine is almost like trapped from leaving to get to his perfect life. And it honestly is stressing him out. It's stressing the people out that are trying to hold him back. And it's like, these people, why are you so stressed out about him finding love, true love? I mean, I couldn't get any more clear than that. Why don't you want the divine masculine to have love? Love in business, love in friendships, loving, nurturing relationships on the land. I mean, we need to learn about cattle and animals. We need to learn about plant life. We need to learn about, someone wants to learn about oceanography and biology. Like, it's okay to explore different topics. It's okay. I mean, that's the whole point. That's how you meet people. And then it's like, if you're worried about your parents, you're worried about your family, it's like, if they love you, then remind them, you'll bring them along. You'll learn new things. I mean, look at how much more I'll be able to learn so that I can come back and take care of us even more than what we already are. So like that's when you're really having these honest conversations with family and friends. Be like, what is the problem here? And then that is when it's like we're kind of at this beautiful point right now where it's like hopefully it feels like the divine masculine is getting to the point where like I'm actually kind of ready to leave here. Because if you truly love me, why would you stop me? Why would you not want me to? What can they say to that? That's when it's like your manipulators have their mouth open, but nothing's coming out. And you're like, wait, did something happen? Because why aren't you saying anything? Because what else can they say? The basic root of it is they do not want you to be happy. So either are they hiding a bunch of things where they've been trying to break you down your whole life from you being happy, or it's also fair to say that maybe they're scared and they're just trying to protect you. And if that's what they're afraid of, then just let them know that it's okay. But being held back is the worst thing that they could do for you at the time. That's what's creating all this stress, all this pressure, all this negativity. That's what's creating, the desire to want to feel, that they're spinning out of control. Because when too much pressure builds up and you can't be released, then you start to spin out of control. And you cannot blame a divine person, any person, for wanting to be divine by moving forward. How could you argue with that? It's okay to say we're all wounded, but don't worry. You might just be afraid of your masculine's new life or who they might want to be with. But the healing that your son or, I'm specifically thinking of a son, but like could have by getting to his own space and starting his own life. Imagine the healing that could cause for your family. It's like I'm seeing a mother figure or a father figure not wanting his son to move forward with someone because he's afraid. But it's like that's actually what's holding them back. Your fear. That's the stress. And you don't want that for him. He's not really going to fail. That's just your fear because he's not actually hung up upside down. This is just you recognizing that your person's such a beautiful, divine person. But you're doing the opposite of letting him get to his divine person. We should be proud of him for being so strong. Whether that it's time for you to let go of someone that's in your group or your business, let them go off and have their own idea. It's time to give them their investment if they wanted to go off on their own. You should not be holding them back any longer at this time. See, there's your confirmation. You have to recognize that you're in the way. And because of your angry words, it's made other people not want this divine masculine to leave. But it's like, why can't you just dissolve the whole group? You could still be up for cocktail hour. I know. Just let him go to his empress. That's how I feel. Whether she comes along or not. But I honestly feel like there's a lot of groups here. It's like they're preventing this masculine from having his perfect life. It could be same-sex couple. It could be, you could come from a family where your nationalities are very different, okay? You just look very different, and that might make other people uncomfortable. But this is what the divine masculine wants. Let him go do what he wants. Another group, like you spend so much time about, loving God and doing the right thing and being on mission. I don't really understand that talk, but at the same time, it's like you're the ones in the way of holding this person back from their life, what they're being led to, what they're being called to do. They're being called to go find a perfect person, a relationship. So whoever, it's like they feel like they have to be with that Queen of Pentacles. There's honestly another person out there if you could just let them get to that other person. I feel like the divine masculine is aware that there's another person. It's like you've done all you could do. You've stressed him out enough. You've confused him enough. You've hurt him enough. You've changed direction on him so many times. Now is the point where it's like, just move out of the way. Yeah, sometimes some families are really like, I don't even need to know everything. Just let me go, Some families finally can be like, let me come out with the truth of everything so that I can finally understand. Like a lot of these people, like if that are in your way are elders to you, they might not know certain things about certain families. Like it's almost like they're so hardened by their life experiences, they forgot what it would be like to have a perfect life. And you're the type of person that could have that, but they're really hardened to their own past. And it's like they're keeping you back because they're wounded. You want to have your own beautiful life. I can truly see that this divine masculine wants to have his own family, whether that's just, as a mentor, you want to adopt children, you want to start something new or old with someone that you knew from your past that somebody else, kept you away from that person, at the beginning. Like you might want to go back to a person that you knew from 20, 30, 40 years ago to try to start a relationship with to see if they would give you a chance. Because whoever's been in your life has kind of held you back from your perfect life for a very long time. So it's your turn for justice. Swiftly. Whether it's like, I feel like you going to this person be like, whether you give me what's mine or not, whether you tell me the truth or not, I have to leave. It's almost like this male's running out of oxygen. And if this Queen of Swords and these other male figures that were in the back don't get out of the way, he's going to explode. That's kind of how I feel where the divine masculine is at this point. He might know he needs to go and protect someone, or he might just be tired of the fact that he's not getting his payout if you don't already have a love interest in mind, but whatever the divine masculine is trying to express to somebody at this point, they need to give up. Like that would be your turn to forfeit, because the masculine that is watching this reading has had enough. He either wants to protect someone, or he wants to protect himself, or he wants to protect a whole community of people. Yes, he's a very loving person, whether he realizes it or not. So it's like if you were in a way and playing on the heartstrings of this King of Cups, making him feel terrible his whole life. Well, I'm pretty sure he's going to get the confidence soon to go for his perfect life. Whether that's been out of the box to everybody or not, I really hope that this divine masculine takes this opportunity to truly make that final decision to move forward with love, with the eyes of love. And you can do that and approach your divine feminine. If we go back to the one that's a little bit nervous, consider the whole community, and that's what's going to get her attention. And when you start to work on things together with someone, that's when you the loving relationship will form on its own. You really won't have to be nervous about her being attracted to you, because you can come in with for the greater good of all by using some of her ideas, some of her passions, some of the things that she's already been working on, or something that's meant very much to her. By fixing that situation for her and with her, that's going to create your perfect relationship. Because a lot of these divine masculines are very nervous to go for a beautiful divine feminine. She's not as bad as she seems. You've been intimidated by people that have really said many things of you to hurt your heart, to make you feel self-conscious most of your life. But your perfect way to come and show her how much you care for her is to help be responsible for healing and protecting more than just her or her ideas, and that by supporting her ideas, that's what she needs. She actually needs someone to come in and support her or not. Whether you think that she's fancy and fabulous or not, the divine feminine, if you watch her reading, is actually solo, her alone, and has no financial backing. Whether she looks like it or not, she does not. So you come in and help her with just community, with just your support about what she's going through, with her ideas. You just be that supportive person, and then that is going to create the loving Two of Cups relationship that you desire, that you didn't even think that probably you had the potential for in the first place. You're her perfect person. You just didn't give yourself a chance. And you don't have to be the one with the money, but just come in with the heart, with the ideas, with the support, and be that king for her. Okay? So this is honestly a new read, a read for someone to go back to someone that is without, that you feel honestly inadequate with. I don't think you have the whole story. Or to maybe say goodbye to a toxic person in your life that is making you feel like you have to provide for them when they're giving you no sustenance in return. There's no equal give and take there. They're honestly just draining you, and your money, your time, your efforts, your knowledge, everything will be way better spent somewhere else. You know what I mean? So good luck to this divine masculine by going it, alone, by following his heart, by following his inspiration, by just following an idea, whether you have the courage to do it or not. Just really, follow the light, follow what could bring people, some kind of balance, some kind of healing, something that your person is already passionate about. You can just go in with that, especially if you've hurt them in the past. You might have rejected them in the past, but I'm gonna let you know, I'm not trying to, don't be manipulative, but your queen is hurting right now. She could really use some support. She could use an apology. She could use a hug. Okay, so it's okay to just go in and look like the underdog at this point, or the one who messed up, because she's not the type of person that even cares about that. And you might be so used to somebody who would just give you a lashing. I don't think she's going to do that. I really think that she would provide a safe haven for you. I don't think she's going to make you look a fool. If she was harsh with you, it's because she's her. So that's why I was like, you need to come in with the right support and encouragement for her. You know what I mean? And I honestly, it's some kind of financial, some kind of physical protection, or just some kind of support, acknowledgement of who she is. That's going to be enough to give you a safe space to have a conversation. Yeah. You're both so wounded. I would just come in a very delicate way. And she's been hurt for an extremely long amount of time. And now would definitely, yeah, poor thing. It's like, especially if you're thinking about someone that was very near and dear to you, it's like, I'm not trying to stress you out, but they're very hurt, and I don't even know if you know it, okay? Maybe you should even go and check on, an old family friend or someone that's near and dear to you, because I honestly feel like they could use your physical support at this time, like for you to actually show up in person, because the Queen of Cups, she's really strong, and she has a hard time telling you that she needs you at this time. Whoever your sweetheart, it could be your sister, it could be your daughter, your mother, your grandma, a friend from the past, or just someone that you considered, beautiful, that you never had the courage to come talk to in the first place. It's like you have no idea how much this beautiful queen, this princess, just needs you. And she doesn't even need you to have money, but could you give her a hug and just be supportive? Like the kindest men, is for some reason, they never approach the women that need them the most. I mean, you could be male or female, but that's just what I'm seeing. Yeah, I do feel like she would welcome you with open arms, whether she admits that she wants, this loving relationship, whether she admits she wants a happily ever after or not. You might have to give her an extreme amount of patience because of how hurt she is, but just know that if you really do come in with the support that she needs, what's under there is a woman that just truly wants to protect you as much as you have the desire to protect her, because both of you have been really hurt and rejected and wounded. It's almost like you didn't get your payout and you didn't get what you wanted to create your stability, so you're always searching for enough to be enough, and your person has been so hurt and wounded, they're always leaving before somebody can come in and make amends, before it's time to save something. So neither one of you you both have a hard time hanging on to really anything or each other. I guess we'll just leave it at that. I just wanted to pull my card. We'll see. Yeah. So, I really feel like congratulations to a divine masculine who is getting the courage to take a step forward in something new or something old that he wants to come back and make amends with. Especially, I can tell you're feeling really nervous, but I do feel like, a loving, beautiful life is in your future as long as you can get humble and courageous enough to try to start conversation with somebody that maybe you didn't consider in the past, or maybe you hurt in the past and you were too afraid to come in and say sorry, or you were just too afraid to even get near that person because you felt, at an extreme distance just because you were very different. But I do feel like now is the chance to kind of move forward, put yourself out there. You're just as wounded as they are, but they're waiting for someone, but the kind of person they're waiting for is a gentle, one day at a time kind of person. And because they feel so vulnerable, same as you, I honestly don't feel like you're going to experience the rejection as much as you anticipate. So good luck. I think that your person is really into some kind of help for all, some kind of support. She might have some kind of idea or some kind of passion about helping other people, and if you decided to get in on that as well, that would be a really good starting point for her, because it's a common meetup, it's something you're doing together. And honestly, what she would want to tell you is that all she wants desperately is a relationship, whether she's told you that or not, whether she lied about it or not. All she wants is a family and relationship, and I think same as you. So when feelings get hurt, when it comes to being a family, a trusted, supportive family that's never going to break, it's really, really hard to trust people and start over. And even just acknowledging that you want that after being so hurt, that's very, very difficult to do. But I do know that whoever you're thinking about is thinking of you and does want you to come in there and be that one. And I know that's difficult for you because that's kind of you usually have people approach you, I think, because you kind of have felt self-conscious for most of your life. But the divine feminine is in the energy of needing to be rescued. There's nothing wrong with going and being there for that. Everybody is all on this do everything alone, and all of the people that need support, need it the most, aren't getting it. So it's really okay for people to jump out there and start supporting each other. Otherwise, we would all lose each other. That's your read for today, Divine Masculine. I really feel like you have a spirit guides, a spirit team, or people around you that are noticing that you have feelings for someone. And I would encourage you to go for that. It feels like a yes. So I know that it's scary changing your whole life, but if it feels right, that idea of this happily ever after forever, for real, I think that this would be something that would benefit you to really put yourself out there with. You wouldn't go for somebody that was really nasty, because if they make you feel self-conscious truly, you don't want to be with them. And that's usually you start to feel the pattern where you have to constantly please them, and then you know right away that that's not the type of person that's giving you the same equal reciprocity, give and take. Your Queen of Pentacles has been working hard at something for a long time, whether she got the payout or not. And she just wants some comfort, some safety, some recognition, okay? And then she'll be able to open up her heart again into more of a loving, trusting space. She might not have ever even gotten that. So both of you have to set your nerves aside and take a chance. Good luck, Divine Masculine, and happy read.